there, Instagram. Hello there, lovelies on Facebook. It is so good to be here with you. I'm Donna Hoffman, and they call me the Interior Design Advocate because I am the advocate for design lovers everywhere, helping you to eliminate the ugly room or the unpleasant room or the, gee, it's kind of disappointing room, or gee, my ideas are kind of falling flat room, or holy cow, I feel like a hot mess kind of room. I've been called one of the leading design coaches in the US. It's such an honor to be called that. I actually run a luxury interior design company. If you are new to me, we have garnered wonderful design awards in our time in practice, which has been great. I started the Interior Design Advocate, which is an online training brand where I do online courses for women just like you, wise, savvy women working on your own home, design lovers, and we find stagers and new designers tend to take our courses as well. But every Tuesday, I like to stop what I'm doing here at the studio. We put a pin in it, and I like to come out here and talk to you, teach you a lesson, answer some questions about that lesson, and generally see what's going on in that gorgeous design diva head of yours. So today I'm getting lots of hellos, and it's great to see everybody joining, so thank you. So today we're going to be talking about something that kind of doesn't get a lot of attention, but I'll tell you, it needs to get some attention because I find it shuts women down in their projects in designing your home, and it's perfectionism. I bet you've never heard that word before, right? If you're a high achiever, you probably have. But what do I mean by perfectionism in design? Is design perfectionism, does it exist? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? It's a bad thing. First of all, there's no such thing as perfect. There is excellent, but there is not perfect. And there are two ways that I see design perfectionism working against you as you are working to beautify your home. Number one, no such thing as perfect, right? We have to agree on that. It's all an artistic work in progress. And even if you're doing a new build and you are putting everything into your home right now, brand spanking new, in 7 years, 10 years, eventually things are going to start to show their wear. Certain things might start to slide in a trend cycle that you're not so happy about. So perfection just doesn't exist. And I've told this story before, but I remember sitting in my foyer, on my foyer steps with the wonderful designer I had hired before I was a trained and practiced and award-winning designer myself. And we were watching my young children play. We had just looked, we were admiring the beautiful foyer installation that just happened. And Anna and Brett were giggling and running around in the foyer. And I noticed as I glanced to the side that there were some dirt and scuff marks on the paint job on the stairwell. And I thought, oh, look at this, Denny. And she said, Donna, that is a sign of the love and the family that is living here in your home. So I offer that to you lovingly. And if you've heard that story before, thank you for bearing with me as I explain it again. But I do want you to know that your home is this ongoing loving thing, right? So you have to accept that as you redo your kitchen, the dining room might look a little tired, or as you redo the dining room and the living room, the foyer might make you think, this could use a little update. You'll get to it. There's no such thing as perfect. It's one continually rolling endeavor. But there's another way that perfectionism absolutely shuts women down in their projects, and that is when you have such an unrealistically, unrelenting, unwaverable vision of where you want to take something in your home, in a project, that you will settle for nothing but the exact perfection ideal that you have. Meaning, I'm looking for a chair that does exactly this and exactly that with exactly this type of fabric and exactly that type of leg. Guess what? You're not going to find it. Yeah, but I have a picture of it from Pinterest, or I have a picture on Instagram, or I have a picture from a magazine. That's what's my guiding principle. Oh, really? Okay, well, I want you to know that when you see something published in a magazine from a designer, that had been probably ordered about a year prior to it being photographed. And then by the time it can get published, that could be another 6 to 8 months before it gets published, or a year, or 18 months. So you could technically be looking at an image on Houzz or in a magazine. The furnishings in that picture might actually be 24 months old. And in the furniture world, that's 100 years. That means that half of that stuff could very well be discontinued. So when you say to your husband, I gotta find this rug, this is the exact rug that I love, honey, chances are that that rug has already been discontinued. It doesn't exist anymore. I have to find this exact lamp. Baby, chances are that exact lamp doesn't even exist. By the time you've seen a picture of it, it could have been discontinued from a manufacturer's line. Manufacturers discontinue items annually, sometimes less than every year, 8 months, 6 months. If something's not selling well, boom, it's out of the line. I had a client once, she was a handful, and she was so exacting and perfectionistic that she would look at, speaking of lamps, she would look at lamps that we were suggesting that would be perfect for her project, really meshed with her design fingerprint, but she'd look at it and say, you know, I'd really love that lamp if the finial did this instead of that. Can you go find that exact lamp? I want the finial to do this, not that. And we think, okay, this is a needle in a haystack search. Perfectionistic, unrelenting, gotta be the exact lamp that does this, not that, at the very top in the finial, whereas everything else about the lamp is perfect. Sometimes you have to let it go a little bit. So what I'm gonna suggest to you to get to excellent in your project, have a concept, yes, gather the images of the things that you love and want. But if I were to sit you down as a very fine painter of abstract paintings, and I said, here's a blank canvas, go. You would have a concept in your mind of where you wanted to go, yes, and then you would let the painting start to take shape, wouldn't you? You would let it start to do what it needed to do. And as long as you are striking into the essence of that concept, you are fine. But will you be able to exactly replicate what was in your head by the time it gets onto the canvas? Mm-mm. Design is very much the same way. It is a living, artful practice. It is like painting a canvas. We always look at inspiration images here in our company, and something that I teach my students to do is to find your design fingerprint, how you tick in design beneath your design style, how you relate to things like line, form, shape, color, texture, pattern, to name a few. But those inspiration images not only point that way to people, but they also show you the general range that you are aiming for, the general bullseye you are aiming for. And when we design here in our studio, throughout the project, we'll stop and go back and look at a client's inspiration images and say, okay, are we capturing the essence of their inspiration images? Answer, yes. Are we replicating identically any one room that we're seeing? No. But we are absolutely capturing the essence of what we're after, of what we decided in our mind that we were going to chisel out of that piece of stone. So I encourage you, as you're working in your home on your kitchen reno, you may not find that exact light fixture that you saw in 2 of your inspiration pinboard Pinterest favorite pics. It's okay. Find the essence, find the feeling of those things that inspired you, and you will get to the essence of what you're after. Release that perfectionistic drive that it has to be just so, and you will be so much happier. You will find that you can move projects forward, that you're not stuck in analysis paralysis, and that you're actually making things happen, and you'll make things happen that are your own. So excellence, yes, go for excellence in your home's beauty. Go for graciousness in your home's beauty, yes. But perfection, pretty overrated. It'll lock you up, it'll shut you down, it'll frustrate you, it'll make you spin your wheels, spitting all over myself, spit on the truth, and it won't get you where you want to go. So I say nix the perfectionism and yay to the excellence. So this was just a little something I wanted to pop out and share with you, because I saw one of my design students kind of struggling with this. At the same time, we once saw a client struggle with this. So I thought, let's talk about this. So if you have a question about a project, since this was sort of a more general but important lesson that I wanted to speak about today, I'm happy to take your questions. So feel free to put your questions in if you have them. And while I'm waiting for those questions to come in, I do want to let you know that, look at, conference update. We have really very special graphics here. Can you tell? What conference? What conference am I talking about? It's the Design Diva Conference. Girlfriend, are you coming? I don't know if Instagram could see that. Instagram, did you get to see this? It was the conference update. And what conference? The Design Diva Conference. Katie, we got Instagram, missed your whole show. Anyway, the Design Diva Conference, it's happening. Oh my gosh. If you love design, if you want to connect with other women just like you who love design, if you want to up-level your design results and want to go on a phenomenal 1.5-day design journey with me, come to Philadelphia, September 28th and 29th. Yes, the weekend of the 28th and 29th, the gorgeous Rittenhouse Hotel, beautiful part of Philadelphia, historic Philadelphia, the Rittenhouse Square area. We have amazing things planned for you. Oh my gosh. Color game-changing workshop. We're gonna have workshops throughout the conference. You can go to our webpage at the Interior Design Advocate, look at the events tab to get more information on the conference, but I will tell you we have very special pricing, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in savings right now. That price will be good for like 2 more weeks and it expires on June 15th. So if you are interested, take a look, grab your honey, design devos, the guys are welcome to, or grab one of your girlfriends or your sister or your daughter or your mom, and we're going to be taking you on an amazing journey. Whether you are at the beginning of your design journey or whether you've been designing on your own for a while and you want to really up-level the results you're getting in your home. So I hope you'll join us. Alrighty, questions. We need glasses to see questions. I know I had glasses. Here they are. Here, there she blow. Alrighty, questions. All right, Jamie is saying she's finally able to watch this live event. Jamie, hugs and kisses. I'm so glad you're here too. Lisa Marie Garza Madrigal. Lisa, that is such a beautiful musical name. She's telling me she just joined the group, so excited about this awesome learning opportunity. Oh, Lisa, thank you so much. It's such a joy for me to be able to support you on your design journey. You know, they say that you give gifts, that you give what you most would like to receive. My shirt's looking a little weird there. I was giving Instagram a weird view. You give the gifts that you most would like to receive. This is what I wish I had before I was a trained designer. And even when I was a new designer and I was working on my own, would have loved to have had a mentor to talk to and run things by. So I'm glad I can do that for you. So thank you. Getting a heart on that one. Okay, so Francis is saying, when you have neutral or light colored furniture, is it best to use a light colored area rug or dark? My couch is almost, and then Francis stops. So Francis hit send before she could finish that thought. But the question is, if you have neutral and light colored furniture, is it best to use neutral area rugs or dark? The answer is yes. In other words, Francis, you can do either one. It depends on your design fingerprint. Do you like color and depth on your floor? Your lifestyle also, pets, kids, is that important to you? I love a light white on white interior. I also love when I see some contrast happening between floor and furniture. And Francis, what's happening on your wall? So in design, it's all about layering. What is the wall doing? How is it framing what sits in front of it, which is your furnishings? And then how is the floor also coming up and framing or lifting or absorbing what you're putting onto it? So if you do light colored furniture on a light rug, it's going to sink into that rug and be quiet. If you do light furniture on a dark rug, that rug's going to pop that furniture and make a different type of statement. So ask yourself, Francis, why you would be doing a light rug versus why you would be doing a dark rug. And when you can answer the why in design, that's when you can always make the right decision, okay? So I hope that helps you, Francis. Sue wants to know, so glad, oh, she's saying so glad she can finally attend one of these. Me too, Sue. I'm so happy you're here. Stacy's saying, hi, I have a question from Instagram. Is there a correct way to lay, is there a correct way to lay wood floors? Should they be vertical or horizontal to my fireplace? Terry is asking a brilliant question. Here's the thing, Terry. Unless you live on a home with a poured concrete slab, in which case you can choose the direction you run your wood floor. But if you have floor joists, your wood flooring has to run in the opposite direction as your joist, okay? So a flooring group has to look at how your joists are running, and they'll run those boards across those joists so that the boards have enough support, reduce warping, etc. If instead, though, you might be living in an area, Terry, that has poured concrete, maybe you don't on the first floor, so maybe you can run your boards in any direction. If that's the case, there's really no right or wrong in terms of how you want it to align with your fireplace. And if anything, if I have a choice, I think about, how do I want to push the eye? Do I want to push the eye east-west, or do I want to push the eye north-south? in a room or in an open concept space. So Terry, hope that helps you. Great question. And thank you for sending that in. All righty. Jamie is saying that Donna has a killer video in the Design Advocate members area. So what Jamie is talking about is one of my courses. My courses are on video, they're online. One is called Reading Genius System, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms. If you don't know how to get your project started, or if you have a project that's stuck in the mud, you're just in analysis paralysis, or if you need help laying out color or upholstery or whatever, this is a beginning to middle to end amazing course, and it gets my students doing amazing things. Oh my gosh, we're going to be announcing contest winners soon for a design contest from that course, so I'll be anxious to share those with you. And then the other course is called Design CPR, like, you know, get out the paddles. When you need to resurrect a room by doing a facelift on a room, that's when you want Design CPR. Oh my gosh, women are doing amazing things using this course. It's heavy on accessorization and fast moves to really power up and change out a room. Yummy. Stacy is saying, very bummed, can't go to the conference. Stacy Mullins, I'm bummed out too. I wish you could be at this conference. I would have loved to have had you. Well, we will think of you. All right, any other questions? I see that there is a question coming in on Insta. And Katie, I hope you can write it out because it's moving, the feed is moving, and with my specs, I just couldn't catch it all. So I'll wait for that question to come in from Katie. Feel free to add any other questions that you have on Facebook. If you have a more general project question, happy to answer that. Reminding you that next week there will, actually not reminding, I'm announcing that next week there will be no Facebook Live. I am sorry, but I'm taking a little bit of time off to unplug and refuel my tanks. The tanks are a little empty, so I will miss you next week, but the following week we are back and we're going to be doing our full trend report about the Kips Bay Design Show House and what all of that means for the upcoming trends for 2019 and 20. So you do not want to miss that. Mark your calendar for June, what is that, June 10th. Okay, can design, this is from Instagram, can design be different from room to room? Rustic, elegant in one, contemporary craftsman in another? No, I don't like it. I do not like it. Listen, whether you are renting, whether you own, whether you bought it full out, whether you're paying a mortgage, you are paying for that square footage. Why, oh why, would you then start to run some of your square footage through the paper shredder? That's what you're doing, through the chipper, I guess. That's what you're doing when you start chopping up from room to room, different design styles. I wouldn't do it. Here's what you could do. We did this for a client recently. They wanted to do something a little different in their guest bedrooms in a new design build. And we said, okay, do you want to do, talk to us? I said, well, they want each room to feel a little different. We said, well, what if we unified everything with the design color palette, but if the style of each room was slightly different? So we did Hollywood glam in one room and like urban modern in another and rustic glam in another. And they had in common gray as a continual color, as well as a lot of cream. And other than that, all bets were off. So in contained spaces, I don't mind, like in spare bedrooms and children's rooms, you want to go all in and do some different things, go for it. But in your main level, your contiguous living level, I think that if you start going from contemporary craftsman into rustic, and rustic can be a million things. It can be Ralph Lauren. It can be, a little more farmhouse, right? Farmhouse casual. So you and I may be splitting hairs on this, but if you're talking about really divergent styles, I'm not liking it. But it sounds to me like maybe what you're describing, maybe you are a little eclectic and maybe you have some of those elements in one room and you're just moving it through room to room. But the question is, can you have, what do I think of very different styles from room to room? I don't like it. And that's the reason why a lot of you get into trouble with inherited furniture. You're trying to take the things that you had when you were first married or when you first got your first job and you were doing one kind of style. And then there are things you inherited from your mom, and then there are things you inherited from your uncle, and nobody's taste is, meshing, and you just kind of have this hodgepodge of stuff. And design, like cooking or baking, is an additive sport. It's the combination of all the ingredients and how you put them together that gives you your end result. So that not only is true within a room, but it's true from room to room. Okay, so you want to maximize your square footage, have a clean thought stylistically that rolls from room to room to room, as well as a color palette that starts to bounce and move and morph from room to room, and your home will become really quite extraordinary. So, all right, lovelies, last call on questions. I don't see too many more questions coming in. I want to remind you that if you would like to spend a little more time with us, please follow us on Facebook at decorating. Oh, what is that?
Instagram.
On Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at decorating.genius. See why I need the vacation? You're already following us on Instagram, but here you go, at decorating.genius. Please give this video a share if you have liked it. I hope you have, because I love being with you. And don't forget, check out that Design Diva conference. It is a once-in-a-lifetime event, an opportunity. And oh my gosh, the bonding will be great, and a great opportunity for us to be able to take care of all of you in design. And there'll be design masterminding at that conference. So yes, bring your pictures, bring your samples, your wood samples, your fabric samples. You will be masterminding about what we've learned in the conference and applying it to a room in your home. So do not miss that conference. All right, lovelies. I will see you in 2 weeks on June 10th for our update on design trends based upon all of the deliciousness we found at the Kips Bay Show House and beyond. Okay, have a great week, everybody. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.